Hi there, beautiful soul. Sometimes when you're ill, or when it is a bad day, or when it is in the beginning of a new circumstance of fatigue, that it's all a bit overwhelming. And it might feel just like one very big feeling of feeling miserable. But over the years, I found out that that was actually not the case. There were lots of small feelings that added on top of each other. You can experience at one moment a multiple level of types of fatigues. For example, tiredness, fatigue, wiredness, psychosomatic fatigue. And that's not the only thing. You also experience the stress underneath the urge of doing that, and that you can't do it anymore. You experience feelings. You experience resistance towards your situation. You can experience burnout due to the symptoms or depression. And all of that becomes one big pile of feeling like shit. Now, in our past, almost everyone had the same tactic to deal with feelings, difficult feelings and difficult sensations, to reject it, not feel into it. Some even say spiritually, like, I'm not feeding that part of myself. I want to go to the light. So they have to ignore the darkness. But let's try let's try to see if we can do this different. I mean, it obviously hasn't worked. And the resistance towards your condition is only making things worse. It's making you more stressed. So what if we go the opposite way of really diving into feeling and really allowing it and loving it, completely being one with it, merge with it? What you usually will get then is there's a shift. And any shift is great, even if it's for the worse. Very often the feelings, when you allow them, they come over you and it's just too overwhelming. So all you can do is at that moment to surrender to it, which maybe should have done much earlier anyway. But the feeling intensifies, every one of them. But sometimes, very often you might see that after it intensifies a little bit, that it drops after that. And that this overall feeling of feeling miserable or feeling extremely tired shifts itself. And I'd like to use tired not in a way that we say I'm tired all the time, because there are so many different types of fatigue. And check out my blog if you would like to know more about them, so that you can name your types of fatigue the right way. But sometimes the removal of resistance gets you in a relaxed state. So instead of being wired and being in resistance while you're completely exhausted, you can be exhausted in a relaxed way. And then the symptoms might change itself into more sleepiness, yawning, and maybe bowel movements, and maybe trembling of the body. And those are very good signs that you're shifting out of resistance into allowing, and that you're out of the stress mode. But of course, the feeling intensifies itself in the beginning, so it is quite scary to surrender to it. But there comes a moment where you have to realize there is nothing else you can do. Let me know how this goes. And check in the descriptions the link to the blog post that I've made a while back about the 10 different types of fatigue, because I think it is not only for yourself but also for the people who love you and who deal with you very handy to know with what type of fatigue you're dealing with today, and that it might get better to see what every type of fatigue needs from you. For example, if you just have a groggy type of fatigue, then maybe you'd need to go swimming or something. But if you're completely wired and tired, maybe all you need to do is relax and surrender yourself to the symptoms. So, or if you're tired, you should go sleeping. So it becomes easier to know for you and for the people around you. Have a very beautiful day. Bye.